Welcome back everybody, Matty here, and today we're talking about deloads. And I'm currently on a deload week myself, which sucks, but it has to be done. So we're going to talk about who should do them, when to do them, and why you should do them. And we're going to break it down and make it simple and easy for you to understand. So let's get right into the video. First things first, what is the deload week and why did I say they suck? Well, essentially it's a back off week. So you're taking a step back in the gym, you're reducing your intensity, the load that you're training at, which is why it's called a deload. You're reducing the volume. Something is changing in the gym to where you're giving yourself a week of recovery, mentally and physically. So it's different than a week off from the gym. So you are still going into the gym, but you're changing something so you're not challenging yourself metabolically. You are not trying to break down muscle, and that's hard for a lot of people because we go into the gym and we want to kill it every time. We want to set PRs. We want to move the most amount of weight possible and make progress. But you can't do that every single time you step into the gym. Otherwise, we would all look pretty damn good and be pretty damn strong. So that is why a deload is extremely important. So how do you know if you need a deload or not? And that's what we're going to talk about right here. Some signs of needing a deload. One, very obvious, you're getting weaker. You're going into the gym, your nutrition seems like it's on point, but you're just not getting any stronger and you hit a plateau. That could be one sign that you need a back off week. Losing motivation and focus. You're sitting around at home or you're sitting at work or school and you have no desire to go to the gym. Or maybe when you get to the gym, you're just going through the motions and you're not feeling it. You're not amped up to train, your music's on, you're ready to go, but you're just not 100% there. And then there's also not recovering. So you're going into the gym, you're hitting it hard every single time, but you're excessively sore, your joints are bothering you, your muscles are aching, and things just don't feel right. You're not recovering like you normally do, so you wake up at 100%. These are a few signs that you might need a deload. So let's move up here and talk about how to deload. How do you do it? Do you just go into the gym and not really lift at all? Do you just walk on the treadmill or the elliptical? No. So what you have to do is reduce something, deload in some way. And one of the less popular ways is deloading volume. So that's keeping the weight the same, the weight that you normally lift when you go into the gym, and cutting back on maybe the amount of sets and reps that you do. So for example, if your total workout is 30 sets, you might cut that down to 15. Or let's say you're on the bench press and you normally do 4 sets of 10. You might cut that down to 2 sets of 10. So you're reducing the total volume. Another way to do it is you can reduce your intensity, which is the most popular way to do this. So you're going into the gym, you want to maintain the same amount of volume, so you might still do that 4 sets of 10, but you want to decrease the weight to 40 to 60% of what you normally train with. So let's say you do a 5x5 squat with 200 pounds, you might do a 5x5 squat with 100 pounds. Now, is that going to be challenging for you? Probably not, but we're always going to come back to right here. No failure and no attempts at progress. It's not supposed to be challenging during a deload week. This is a week of active recovery. And another way, which isn't too popular, but it can help you, is to change your exercise selection. So if you're normally doing all barbell movements, maybe throw some machines and cables into the mix. Try dumbbells instead of barbells, try barbells instead of dumbbells. By changing the exercise selection, you're changing the motor pattern, and that can give your body a chance to recover from doing the same movements over and over and over again. So there are a few different ways to deload. You can actually combine all of these together. You just have to experiment with it for yourself and find what best works for you. So let's talk about a few extras, as I like to call them, because very often when we hear about deloads or when people talk about deloads, they don't give you any additional information. We get the idea. The concept of a deload is pretty simple, right? You go into the gym and you back off of what you've normally been doing. You reduce the intensity, you reduce the load, the volume. So that seems pretty easy, but what about when the deload is over? What do? Do you just jump back into 100% immediately? No, that's not something you want to do because you probably won't be hitting the weights that you were prior to your deload. So you're working hard, you deload. Now coming off of that deload, if you jump up to 100%, you might not be hitting the weights that you were before that deload. So you want to reacclimate yourself back into those working weights. So if you're working with 40 to 60%, the following week bump it up to maybe 65, 70% and keep increasing and getting back to your normal working weights, but don't jump into it 100% right after that deload is over. You're going to want to, because during that deload week, all you can think about is getting fired up to go back into the gym and lift heavy, but I highly advise that you take time to work your way back into it. So how often should you deload? A good recommendation, maybe every 4 to 12 weeks, but it's going to depend on the individual. your experience level, what your programming is like, how you're feeling, how you're recovering. So that's something that you have to listen to your body about. It's going to be different for every single person, and this is why it's very important to keep a journal of your progress. Track the things that are going on. Track and write down how you feel so you can look back on that, and if things aren't going right, you could take that deload week or make any necessary adjustments to ensure that moving forward, you're making progress. Now, what about your diet? What if you're cutting? Should your calories drop? Should they increase? A lot of people immediately think, if I'm cutting, let's reduce my calories during that deload week because we're not doing as much activity. But the problem with that is if you reduce your calories too much, you might end up losing a little bit of muscle. Now, obviously nothing significant since it's only that 1 week, but my recommendation is increase your calories if you're cutting to preserve muscle. So you're doing less work, you're not breaking down that muscle, you want to provide your body with enough food and nutrients to maintain and preserve the muscle that you currently have. If you're bulking, don't worry about it, just keep bulking and keep eating. But that pretty much wraps up what deloading is. I hope I covered everything for you guys. Again, we're always going to drive home this point during a deload. No failure and no attempts to progress. You are not supposed to be challenging yourself. This is a period of mental and physical recovery, so when you come back from that deload week, you're refreshed, you're ready to go, and you're gonna kick some ass and hit some PRs. So that's it. That's the video on deloads. If you guys have any questions, as always, the comment section below is where to ask them. I'd be more than happy to answer them. So if you enjoyed this video, you gotta do me one favor and click that thumbs up button. That really helps this channel out. And that's it. Until next time, we'll see you all in the next video. So I hope you all enjoyed that video on deloading. Now, in case you missed a previous video, you can click on me deadlifting and that video will open up in a new window for you. If you want to apply for my online coaching, sign up to my free VIP list, or subscribe to this YouTube channel, you could do so by clicking any of those boxes on this screen. So thanks again, guys, for the support, and we'll talk to you all in the next video.